Hello, everyone. This is our team meeting for March 29th. It is 8:25, so I'm going to go ahead and get started. We're supposed to start at 8:15, so I'm going to start now. I'm going to open us in prayer, and then we'll just get going on our goals. So if you could bow your heads with me, I'd appreciate it. Father God, just thank you for this time together. Thank you for blessing us with the products of Plexus, and for those working the business, for the financial aspect of Plexus. We just ask that you would not bless our business, God, but that you would use us and our business to honor you. That everything we do in this business would be about you and be about bringing glory to your name, and not about us or financial gain or anything else, but that it's all about you. So we ask that you bless our time together tonight, that it will be productive, and that it honors you. It's in your son's name we pray. Amen. So tonight we're talking about goals. And this can be applied to anything. It's not just your Plexus business. It can be applied to relationships, or health goals, or financial goals, or wealth goal, or it's the same thing. Fitness goals. It can be any kind of goal whatsoever. But I will focus more on the business side, because that's what we're working on building. So I am going to start off by sharing a few things that Rainey, our Diamond Upline, shared with us in a meeting at her house this past Friday. And she talked a little bit about goals. So the number one thing that's going to help you reach your goals is belief in yourself. Everybody else can believe in you. I can believe in you. Everybody else can be behind pushing you. But if you don't believe that you're going to reach your goals, you're not going to reach them. You have to have that belief, and you have to have that value of yourself in place to be able to reach those. So that's first and foremost. So on that note, whatever we'll just pick one goal now, whether it's relationship, financial, health, business. Think of one goal. Who are 3 people who need you to succeed at that? Like if I'm thinking about my Plexus business, and I'm thinking of my goals around that, which is to grow it so that I can stop watching extra babies. I love my bonus babies, but I would also love to just be with my babies. So the people that need me to be successful at my Plexus business, of course, would be Chris. Another goal that we have is to retire him from working. Eventually that would be great, and not at age 65, but earlier. So that would be the first person. My kids, obviously, they would need me to be successful at reaching the goal. And then my team, you guys. If I'm saying I'm going to make this a successful business, you guys need me to be successful as your leader. So think of 3 people who need you to be successful at your goal, no matter what the goal is. Think about what it would be like to reach that goal, how those 3 people would feel about you, what they would say, how proud of you they would be, how you might celebrate reaching your goal, that sort of thing. You don't have to think about that right now, but that's something to think about over the next week, and write those things down. The other thing that she shared, was let me find it in my notes here because it was very specific. There was a group of students. I believe it was at Harvard. I could be wrong, so don't quote me on that. Harvard, Yale, one of the Ivy League schools. There was a group of students that worked on goals, that managed, or that set goals and then tried to reach them. And they did a study around that. So what they found is that out of that group of, this whatever graduating class, only 3% of people actually wrote their goals down. So only 3% of, and again, I don't know what the number was, let's say 100. Only 3% of them actually wrote down their goal on paper. 13% of them had no goals, or had goals, but they didn't write them down. So they just kept them in their head, or said, okay, well, in 5 years, I want to be whatever, but they didn't write it down. And then 84% had no goals whatsoever. They just, went to work, did life, whatever they were going to do. They didn't really set goals for themselves. So 10 years later, so 10 years after graduating, the 3% who wrote their goals down had accomplished 10 times more than any of the other people. 10 times more than the 13% that actually had goals but didn't write them down, and more than 10 times more than the 84% who had no goals. There's power in writing it down. It makes it more official. It makes it more concrete. It makes it something you can go back and refer to. There's power in writing down your goal. Whatever it is, relationship, financial, health, business, whatever. Write it down. Be specific. And I will show you. I have a planner that I bought it on Amazon. It looks like this. That's the front of it. And then, the inside is kind of, the inside is like, just a normal planner. But in the front of every month, there's a space to write your goals. This is for February. And then there's a space like, what's your biggest goal? What are your next 3 goals? How are you going to, what's the purpose of it? And then how are you going to do it? So big goal, what's the purpose? How are you going to do it? So I have those written down. Now, what I like about this particular planner is the how. They have to be specific. They have to be measurable. You can't say, okay, I want to grow my business. What does that mean? By 2 people? By 5 people? By 15 people? How do you want to grow your business? Hold on just a second. Somebody's texting me. I will answer it real quick because it's about the meeting. Otherwise, I wouldn't do that. Hold on, she's asking me a question on Facebook too. Okay, sorry about that. Hold on, y'all. Let me figure out how I can add. Michelle's trying to get into the meeting. I'm trying to figure out how I can get her in here. She can't find the link. So let me see if I can get her in here real quick. Sorry, I know it's weird right in the middle of a meeting. Whoops. Okay, we'll see if that works. Anyway, I'm sorry. Your goals have to be measurable. If you just, okay, I want to lose 15 pounds. Okay, that's measurable. By when? By the end of the month? By 2 months? By 3 months? And then how are you going to do that? Okay, well, I'm going to drink more water. I'm going to cut out starches and carbs, and I'm going to walk for 30 minutes a day. Okay, those are measurable. Those are things you can look back and say, okay, well, I drank all Cokes today and I didn't go walking. Or, okay, well, I drank all my water, but I ate 6 cookies or whatever. Your goals have to be measurable. And that's why I like in this particular planner I like the how. You have to sit and think about it. You have to sit and think about the how. Hey, Michelle. How are you?
I'm alive.
You're alive. Hey, with 2 kids, that's a feat.
Yes.
So I've already kind of started. So just kind of recap, we're just talking about goals. And I was talking about having measurable goals.
Okay.
And I was showing, this is my planner that I have, and I like how it has, what's your big goal? Why are you doing that goal? And then the how. And we're really, really focusing on writing it down. Whatever your goal is, you have to write it down. And then thinking about how. It has to be measurable. So I was sharing about, if your goal is to lose 15 pounds, great. How are you going to do it? Drink more water, exercise 30 minutes a day, take out carbs, that sort of thing. I also shared a study from Rainey that she shared with us from a group of graduating college students who 3% of them wrote their goals down, and 10 years later they had achieved 10 times more than their peers who didn't write anything down. So there's power in writing it down and making it measurable. If you just say, if your goal this month is to grow your business, well, what does that mean? 2 people, 5 people, that kind of thing. So that's what we're sharing now. So this is, I shared this earlier. This is a planner I just found on Amazon. And I love it. It's I don't know. I'll put a link to it.
Okay.
But so that can be applied to anything: a relationship goal, a health goal, a wealth goal, a business goal, goals with your kids, whatever.
I'm listening still.
No, you're fine. You go be a mama. That's most important. For those who don't know, and this excites me, Michelle just had a baby on Wednesday. So she's on this call with a brand new baby and a 2-year-old. So go Michelle. I'm obviously going to make this specific to Plexus, but you can apply these tips to any area of your life that you want to have goals. So with Plexus, oftentimes we talk about, we want to add team members. I want to add 5 this month or whatever. We talk about the power of 3, because to be a diamond in Plexus, you have to have something like 1,500 people on your team, 2,000 people on your team. And while you might know that many people, you're not going to get them all on board with you on Plexus. So we just focus on the power of 3. So I'm going to share my screen with you real quick so you can see what I'm talking about and how the power of 3 works. So let me do this. Okay, so can you see that, Michelle?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so the power of 3 is just, you are the leader of your team. It doesn't matter if you have 1 person on your team or 800, you're the leader. So there's you, and you just find 3 people. Those would be your level 1. So those are your 3 friends who sign up to be ambassadors on your team. They find 3 people. So those are your level 2s. So you've got 9 level 2s. Each one of those persons finds 3 people. And you can see how it builds, how your team builds without you finding 27 people. You just found 3. They found 3 more, which is 9. They found 3 more, which is 27. And you can see up here, they just break down how that would work out in payments, because one of the ways you get paid with Plexus is points. You get a point for people who are on your team. So you can see even just 3 levels deep with people finding 3 people, you're getting $405, $540, $585, $585 a month on top of your commissions, on top of bonuses, that sort of thing, just by finding 3 people. Now, 3 can be overwhelming. You might not find 3 every month. So this was something else Rainey shared at her meeting that I loved. So if you have a piece of paper and a pen, write this down. And if you don't, I'll give you about 30 seconds to go get one, because it was very powerful. For me, it was very, very powerful. So grab a pen and a paper, or pencil, whatever, marker. You can see I have a marker because the girls always steal my pens. Their art room is right next door. So, okay, so on your piece of paper, write down all the months of the year: January, February, March, April, May. Go all the way through to December. I'll give you a minute to do that. You can abbreviate if you want to. Doesn't matter. Okay, so if you've got that, we're going to talk about the power of 1. 3 might be overwhelming, but think about one person you know who could use Plexus this month, whether it's customer or ambassador, it doesn't matter. So by January, write a number 1. By February, write a 2. March, a 4. April, an 8. May, a 16. June, 32. July, 64. August, 128. September, 256. October, 512. November, 1,124. In December, 2,048. Now, what this is, if you haven't caught on, is in January, you're the only person on your team. In February, you found one more person, so now there's 2 people on your team. In March, you both found a person, so there's 4. In April, everybody found one more, so there's 8. Does that make sense? So in 1 year, again, whether customer or ambassador, if every person just commits to finding one, again, either customer or ambassador, that's 2,048 people who are either on your team as an ambassador or, with another ambassador as a customer. That's 2,048 people whose lives have been impacted with the Plexus products, whether financial or just, again, customer base. With everybody just committing to one every month, the growth is exponential. So if you don't have any goals, write down the power of 1. That's your first goal, and I'm just going to make it for you. Because everybody can find one person. You've got 30 days to think of one person, work on that one person. And another thing Rainey shared is a no is never a no until it is a flat out no. Leave me alone. Huh. If it's a, well, I don't know, or I'm not ready right now, or I'll think about it, that's not a no. So she was talking about one person, you can find one person a month who's not going to say no. Find that person and run with it. And then, get them to commit the next month. Okay, now you find a person. And just keep building that. And the growth just explodes. So that kind of blew my mind because I get real focused on the power of 3. And really, if you just do 1, with these numbers, I think you could be diamond by the end of the year. Starting at 0, starting with only you, and going to diamond by the end of the year with the power of 1. So the other thing that kind of went along with that and with the goal, and I just like the way she phrased this, was have a baby, grow a baby, and get a new baby. So find the one person you want, train them, help them. Here's the products, here's the compensation plan, here's how you approach people. Let them run, let them grow up into a toddler, go have a new baby. Go find another one the next month. Michelle knows about having new babies. But you don't just stop with that one and then back off and go, okay, well, they're going to grow my business for me. Nobody's going to grow your business for you. You have to grow your business. You can lean on people for training. You can lean on people for support and encouragement. Nobody's going to go find people for you and go, oh, look, I found you 5 new ambassadors this month. Here you go. You have to do that. So have a baby, grow a baby, and go get a new baby. So as far as those goals, how are you going to find your person? So the power of 1 is your first goal. Okay, well, what are you going to do? Are you going to Facebook message them? Are you going to call them? Are you going to send them an email? Are you going to text them? Write down your how. What are you going to share with them first? The products? The business? Because they're interested in it? Do you just need to reconnect with somebody? Write it down. Write down your how. Vitally, vitally important. Trying to think of what else she said. Goals. Also need to set a timeline. So if you say, okay, I'm going to gain 1 new ambassador. I'm going to get 1 new ambassador. Okay, by when? By the end of the week? By the end of the month? By the start of summer? It has to have a timeline because a goal without a timeline is just a wish. Well, I'll get a new ambassador someday. Well, put a timeline on it, set it, and then it becomes measurable. So it has to have a timeline. You got to have your how. And then another thing she said, I'm talking about Rainey. Another thing she shared was daily action towards your goal. Now, it may not, if your goal is to get a new ambassador, obviously that doesn't mean you're going to meet that goal the very first day. But what action are you going to take tomorrow to meet it? Is tomorrow writing down your how? Okay. What are you going to do on Thursday? Actually message them? Okay. What are you going to do on Friday? Follow up, answer the questions they sent you, like their status on Facebook so you have a connection, whatever. It has to be a daily action until you reach that goal. And then again, to have a baby, grow a baby, get a new baby, you've reached that goal, set a new one. What's your next thing? And again, that goes, I'm focusing on the Plexus business, but that goes for anything. A fitness goal. Okay, you want to lose 15 pounds in the next month. Okay, well, once you reach that, what's your next goal? Maintain it, lose 5 more, gain muscle mass. What's your next thing? Train somebody else to lose 15 pounds, whatever. Set a new goal. Otherwise, you're just going along with life like that 84% who had no goals and they're just floundering and they accomplish nothing. So really, as far as goal setting, like I said, I'm going to keep it simple. They have to be measurable.
Gretchen, leave them alone, please.
They have to be measurable. You've got to write them down, and you have to have daily action and a how. How are you going to accomplish it? Oh, okay. I'm going to be vulnerable with y'all here. Something that Rainey also shared was, if you don't meet your goal, like I had a goal to be gold by the end of March. I didn't make it. I'm set up to be that way in April, but I didn't make my March goal. I can, and this is where I'll be vulnerable, like I used to in the past, shut down and be like, well, I didn't reach my goal. Well, I just can't do this, and I'm just never going to be anything with Plexus. And oh, woe is me, right? I can do that, or I can say, you know what? I've added these people in February. My team added these people in February. We're set up for April. In March, we're set up for April. And I can look at it that way. She said, timelines with your goal are not hard and fast and, oh no, you haven't met it and now you're ruined. You just bump it up to the next month. Okay, well, I didn't get 5 this month, but I got 3. So next month I'll get 2 more and be at my 5. But something that I honestly struggle with is, because I'm competitive with everyone and everything, including myself, I will not reach a goal and then just go, oh, well, this is stupid. Why are we doing this? I can't believe this. And I'll shut down for a period of time. So that's part of my personal growth, is working on, no, you didn't fail. You just didn't quite make it, right? Like the Aggies, we just ran out of time. And we'll just go again the next month, right? You can always push it out, but don't take it as a hard and fast, you're a failure because you didn't reach your goal. That's okay. Okay, let me take this off the screen. There we go. Okay. So, like I said, I'm just keeping it short and simple. Tonight, write down your goal. Think of a goal. Write it down. How are you going to achieve it? And what's your timeline? That's your homework for the next 2 weeks until our next Zoom call. But again, this applies to everything: relationships, fitness, health, the new baby. How do you want him to sleep? Whatever, whatever your goals are. So that's kind of all I have for today. Do you have any questions on that?
Just doing it.
Yeah, just doing it. You just and that is where honestly this planner has been helpful for me, because I'm getting better. Was very bad about in my head having a goal, but it was really just more of a wish, because I would think, okay, I would like to be gold. well, how am I going to, I wouldn't put any concrete things around that. So yes, just take, you know, 30 minutes one day if you can. If you can't, take 15, take whatever you can. Think about your goal and write it down right then. And then if you have to put it down and come back to it the next day to write your hows, do that. Put it down and come back the next day and write down how you're going to do it. But write it down, make it measurable, and put a timeline on it to hold yourself accountable. So yeah, I like that. You just have to do it. Nobody's going to do it for you.
Yep.
But that's it. That's all I got.
All right.
So I'm going to stop the recording and then we can just chat if you want.